DJ Metal Craig of Craig's Maelstrom here, and I have one of the members of Bonafide with me today. Hey, how's this going? And would you like to introduce yourself and what position you do in the band?
Yeah, my name is Pontius. I'm the singer and guitarist and founder of the band, and a songwriter 95% of the times, so to speak.
The first question I need is going to get you thinking and going back a little bit.
Mhm.
Please go back in the history of Bonafide and how the band all got started.
It got started back in 2006. I was playing a lot of blues stuff before with the solo band, and I wanted to get a bit heavier. Uh, and that and at that time, I started to like AC/DC a lot as well. I was more of a blues guy before. So I wanted to start a heavier band that eventually became Bonafide. So it was a labor of rock and roll love, so to speak.
Cool. How did you guys come up with the band name Bonafide?
Uh, I think it was me and the old guitar player, Mickey Fesberg, who came up with it. Uh, it's such a cool phrase to be Bonafide, to be like certified and okay. It's a positive thing. So I I can't really remember. Probably from a movie or something. Oh, brother, where art thou? Maybe. Oh, you certified and bona fide.
That's so cool that it came from a movie, man.
Yeah.
This next question is a really good one. It might get you thinking. Who designed the Bonafide band logo?
Well, that's a story. Actually, it's an old friend of a friend back in Malmo who did the first thingy, and then it got altered, and we put in the upside down John Bonham logo to it to make the final thing on the albums. I would say it's a guy called Björn in Malmo.
Right on. This next one's going to get you into some of the stuff off the new album if you're cool with it.
Yeah, sure.
Would you guys mind talking about the single from October 6th coming out titled Snack It?
Yeah, that's a special. You won't get a thing, my friend, because it's in Swedish. The first time we ever do something in Swedish, and it's a duet with me and a very famous Swedish artist called Nisse Hellberg from a band called Wilmer X. So it's a duet in Swedish. I've been a long time fan of his, and we're good friends and played some together. And I had the nerve at some after party to ask him, "Would you like to do a duet with me?" I was expecting no, but he said, "Hell yeah!" So I wrote a song for us too, and that became "Snack It," and it's going to be released on Friday.
Right on. I jammed that song before the interview,
Oh,
and
you
I thought
did?
that was really wicked, man.
Hurdy burdy scooty bit like the Swedish chef, right?
I don't mind foreign language songs myself, but some people, because they can't understand the language, they're just
Yeah,
like, next track.
yeah, exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
very open to what I listen to. I listen to
Um,
any language, any form, because I'm into stuff from black metal to death metal to
mm,
grindcore to hard rock to
yeah,
jazz,
yeah,
blues. I go through all genres, and so you mentioned yourself,
mm,
you were a vocalist. I'm actually a vocalist too.
yeah, yeah.
Death
You
metal.
know, we're not the first ones to do that. Opeth has some songs in Swedish, and the Swedish band Soulwork has some Swedish in their metal too. So we're not the first ones to do it.
All good. I understand, man. Who's on the current Bonafide lineup and what instruments do they play?
It's Niklas Mattsson on drums. He's been with me for like 12 years now. And then it's Martin Ekelund on bass. He's been in the band for like 10 years. And then Anders Rosell on the other guitar. He's been in the band for 7 years. It's quite a solid lineup now.
Cool, man.
Mm.
Shoot, I lost my place in the question for a sec there. What are the band's immediate music career goals?
Uh, it's actually happening right now. We're booking a solid Swedish tour for after the release of the album, which is October 26th. So we're doing Sweden up until Christmas, and then we're looking at some festivals in the UK and some a little run of Germany in the spring, and a lot of festivals next summer. So a lot of good things happening.
Right on. What are the foreseeable plans in the future for Bonafide? Are you guys planning to do any more EPs or full lengths again in the near future?
Not in the near future because we haven't released a new one yet. So I think we're gonna roll with this one for a while, and release singles even after the full album is released. So, but we're writing again, and probably gonna try to get together. I write most of the songs, but now Anders Rosell, the other guitarist, is a good songwriter as well. So we're gonna try to get a lot of stuff together and pick from those for the next recording. But it'll be a couple of years, I think.
All good. I was just curious because I like to ask the bands if they're going to continue writing or not because it's be interesting what they're doing.
Yeah, we will absolutely continue writing.
Right on. Who are some of the band's musical influences?
Well, needless to say, Akadaka, AC/DC. And I'm so broad in my musical taste. It goes from like the Beatles to Megadeth, but when it comes to this band, it's of course the classic rock bands like Rose Tattoo and Humble Pie and the Who and Stones and stuff like that. So for Bonafide, it's those bands, I would say.
This next one might get you laughing a little bit, but I feel it's a good one to ask the bands. What are some of your favorite moments when on tour?
Well, on stage, of course, and for the band, it's when we tour the UK, which we've done a lot. Then it's after show. We always go to Curry Hut to have like hot madras and a Cobra beer. That's always fantastic. And when it comes to playing festivals, it's all the other bands you meet that you know, and you get to know in the VIP area or backstage. That's always because everybody's out playing all the time. So seldom you meet your friends back home in Stockholm for me then. But on a festival, everybody's there, so you get to meet them all. So that's a beautiful thing.
Before we get into this next one, I hope you guys eventually for a show come up to Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada to tour.
We'd love to do that. Absolutely. I've never been there. No, I'm a drummer as well, and I'm in Jason and the Scorchers, and we've done a lot of US tours, but we've never come to Winnipeg.
I actually live up there. You're talking to a Canadian
yeah.
DJ. What are some of your favorite moments when in the studio?
When we just nailed the shit out of a song, playing it live. Like on this new album, we recorded everything live except for the lead vocals and the guitar solos. So and without click tracks and stuff. So just like a real rock and roll band. When we just nailed a take, and you could just feel us going out to the control room. This was it, wasn't it? And you hear it, and it was it. That's fantastic. I love that.
Awesome. And just so you guys know, the album sounded really tight, killer, and had a good vibe to it.
Yeah, thanks.
Does the band have any band gear endorsements?
We've had them all. Actually, when I play the blues, I used to have Fender endorsement, and we had Gibson endorsement and Marshall endorsement and vintage endorsement, and the drummer has a Swedish drum 101 drums endorsement, and Martin has London bass strings, but we have everything we need, so we don't use it much anymore, except for for strings and sticks and stuff. So I think we're one of the only ones who had both Fender and Gibson and Marshall.
Nice, that's cool to know. This next question is a really good one. With Bonafide's song titled Snack coming out on October 6th, where can the single be pre-ordered or purchased?
That's the single released on Friday, right? Yeah. It's not for purchase. Well, it is on iTunes and stuff like that. But it's also out on Tidal or Tidal or however you pronounce it, and Spotify and Apple Music and everything. So it'll be all around digital, but not in physical shape. That'll be the album on the 26th of October, being both vinyl 180 grams and CD as well.
Okay, and I had the date wrong. I was going to ask you where the album can pre-order purchase for the new album that you're have coming out, and I forgot the album title of it. I'm very sorry about that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find it on our Facebook link, or in the Facebook link, or on the web page or whatever. Sound Pollution, our record label, has it too. So just go in there and you'll find it.
What social media outlets are you guys found on?
Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram. The label tried to get us into TikTok, but I'm not sure about that. I don't want to do it. If someone else in the band wants to do it, they can do it, but I'll stay clear from that.
I get you there, man. What advice do you have for people who want to form their own bands?
Play a lot together, and don't look at what's in right now. Do your thing the way you want it to sound and the way you want it to look, and then you're probably gonna succeed if you're good enough and you practice a lot, and listen to people and listen to your band members, and forget about the money thing, because that's only going to get you into trouble and dismantling the band, So just be in the rehearsing studio and play together and do your thing. That's what I can recommend.
Right on. That leaves with 3 more for the interview, and we will get a couple of station IDs from you as well. The third last question of the interview is, please give some guitar tips or advice for starting out guitarists.
For starting out guitarists, I would say go to the blues. That's where I come from, and where Angus and Malcolm comes from, and where Jimmy Page comes from, and where Chuck Berry came from, and where Jimi Hendrix came from. Go to the blues, because it's easy to fathom, but to master it takes some skills. But it's easy to get started, playing a 12-bar blues. And really quickly, if you get around to that, you feel like you can play a song almost without even being a good player. So that's a good tip. Start with the blues.
And that leads us into the next question. Please give some vocal tips or advice for starting out vocalists.
Oh, well, I always try to sing along to my favorites on the turntable or on the CD. Like sing along to, if you listen to Otis Redding or to Blues Guy or to Beatles or whatever. Just try to sing along, and then after a while, if you get more into it, you'll find your own bag of tricks, as I say, that you can go and choose from when you want to sing. So just listen a lot to vocalists and how they pronounce and how they do their licks, like bluesy or poppy or whatever your favorite style is.
Right on. And that leads us to the last question of the interview. And before we get into the question, I'd like to thank you for the time here and Mango
Thank you.
Music Radio and Craig's Metal Storm. Our last question of the interview is, what would you like to talk about on the Bonafide front that we might have missed in this interview, as in new news?
Well, I'm keen on the new album being released, and we're so happy about it. It was produced again by our good friend and the best rock and roll producer in Sweden, Chips Keesby. So the sound is better than ever, and he was in the forming of the songs and doing all the small stuff that makes a song pop. And he actually produced our up-to-date most famous album, Something's Rippin', from 2008. So we're happy to have been working with him again. Chips Keesby, he's done a lot for the album, and as you're gonna hear if you listen into it. So we're very proud of this one, and it goes out to him.
That's it for the new band news?
Yeah, well, that's the new record, so that's the latest news.
All right. I wasn't sure if you had anything else you wanted to add, or you had stuff you have to keep under wraps for now.
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
all.
So we'll get on to the station IDs then. The first one is, hey, this is Pontius from Bonafide, and you're listening to Mangled Music Radio.
Hi, this is Pontius from Bonafide. You're listening to Mangled Music Radio.
And the last one's for Craig's Metal Storm.
Hi, this is Pontius from Bonafide. You're listening to Craig's Metal Storm. Rock on.
Cool. Thank you very much for the interview, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
You have yourself a wonderful rest of your evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Take care, man.
Bye. Take care.